You've likely heard countless opinions about masturbation. Some say it's shameful, others claim it's essential to health. But what's the truth? How often should you masturbate, especially as you get older? The answer might surprise you, because science has actually given us a clear, research-backed guideline. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist with over 30 years of experience in male sexual health. Today, I'm here to break down exactly what science says about masturbation and aging. But here's the twist. It's not just about pleasure. In fact, regular masturbation could be one of the best things you can do for your prostate health, mental well-being, and even emotional balance. Now, you may be asking yourself, what's the ideal frequency? Should I even worry about this at my age? The truth is, too much or too little can both have an impact on your health. In this video, I'll reveal what the research says and how to strike the right balance. Stick with me to learn how often you should be masturbating to reduce the risk of prostate cancer, enhance your mood, and protect your overall health, without falling into the trap of guilt or shame. Trust me, this could change how you approach your well-being in your later years. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss out on valuable health tips tailored just for you. If you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can improve the content to better suit your needs. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the first key point: prostate health. As men age, prostate concerns become more prominent, but here's the surprising part. Regular masturbation may actually reduce the risk of prostate cancer. Let's take a closer look at how this works and why it matters. 1. Prostate health. How often should you masturbate for a healthy prostate? As men age, the health of the prostate becomes a concern that many simply can't ignore. But did you know that masturbation, a topic that's often whispered about in shame, could actually help protect you from prostate problems, including cancer? It might sound strange at first, but let's take a closer look at what the science says. The Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, one of the largest and most comprehensive studies on prostate health, revealed a surprising truth. Men who masturbate 21 or more times per month have a 33% lower risk of prostate cancer. That's a substantial reduction, one that could make a real difference in your health. Think about it. This study wasn't conducted over a few months or with a small group of people. It tracked nearly 30,000 participants over 222,000 years of data. That's the power of real scientific evidence, not just speculation or guesswork. But why does masturbation have this effect on the prostate? The answer lies in ejaculation. When you ejaculate, your prostate gets a natural flush, clearing out old sperm and reducing inflammation. This process helps to maintain the health of the prostate, which, as you age, can become more prone to issues like enlargement or even cancer. By regularly engaging in masturbation, you are effectively giving your prostate a chance to stay in top shape. Now, I understand this may be a hard pill to swallow for some of you. For years, many of us have been told that masturbation is something to be embarrassed about, even shameful. But science doesn't work based on guilt. It works based on facts. And these facts show that masturbation can actually play a key role in keeping your prostate healthy and functioning properly. But it's not just about protecting against cancer. Regular masturbation has been linked to other health benefits too. From reducing stress and improving mood to enhancing overall sexual health, it seems like the benefits extend far beyond what you might have imagined. And the best part? It's a natural, easy-to-implement habit that doesn't require you to go to the gym or take expensive supplements. So, with all this in mind, how often should you masturbate? The answer lies not just in how often you feel the urge, but in how frequently you can maintain that healthy balance for both your body and mind. This leads us to our next key point: mental well-being. What happens when you masturbate, and how does it affect your brain? Let's explore that next, because the answers could help you feel even better than before. 2. Mental health. The role of masturbation in your emotional well-being. We often talk about physical health, but what about the mental aspect? As we age, life can throw its challenges, stress, loneliness, and the inevitable changes that come with growing older. You might not realize it, But masturbation can actually play a role in helping you manage these emotions. It's not just a physical act. It can be a tool for your mental well-being, especially as you navigate the emotional shifts that come with age. When you masturbate, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical responsible for pleasure. This is the same hormone your brain releases when you eat something you love or when you achieve something important. It's your body's natural way of rewarding you. But here's the key. This release of dopamine doesn't just feel good in the moment, it also reduces stress and improves mood. After a long, tiring day, a simple act of masturbation can help you relax, let go of that pent-up frustration, and even sleep better at night. And we all know how important sleep is as we get older. But here's where it gets tricky. While masturbation can provide relief and improve emotional health in the short term, there's a fine line. If masturbation becomes your main method of coping with difficult emotions, it can start to create a cycle that's hard to break. If you use it as an emotional escape, it may mask deeper issues like anxiety or loneliness rather than truly solving them. Over time, this can turn into a habit that feels almost compulsive, and the guilt that often comes with it can lead to negative feelings. It's a slippery slope. The truth is, moderation is key. Masturbation in itself is not the problem. It's how and why you use it. It should never replace human connection, meaningful relationships, or healthy coping mechanisms. Instead, it should be an occasional act that serves to enhance your well-being, not substitute for it. So, how do you know if it's becoming a problem? What if it's starting to affect your emotional state or sense of guilt? Understanding the balance between physical and emotional health is important, and I'll guide you on how to recognize the warning signs. But first, let's talk about the biological purpose of masturbation. Is there more to it than just pleasure? Let's find out, because the science behind this might just change the way you see it. 3. The biological function. Why do we do it? Have you ever wondered why we feel the urge to masturbate in the first place? As strange as it might seem, there's actually a biological reason behind it. Masturbation isn't just something we do out of habit or pleasure. There's a deeper evolutionary purpose to it, especially when it comes to male health. Understanding this can change the way you see this natural act, especially as you get older. In many ways, masturbation serves as a biological reset for your reproductive system. Think about it like this. Your body constantly produces sperm, but over time, if that sperm isn't used, it can become stagnant and less effective. This is where masturbation comes in. By ejaculating, you're helping to clear out old sperm, essentially giving your system a refresh. This helps keep your prostate healthy and may even improve sperm quality. For men in their 60s and beyond, this could have real benefits, ensuring that everything down there stays in working order for longer. But the benefits aren't just about sperm. Masturbation is also thought to help reduce inflammation in the prostate. Just like any other part of the body, your prostate benefits from regular exercise. Regular ejaculation can help flush out toxins or buildup that may have accumulated over time, keeping things running smoothly. And while the thought of this might sound a little awkward, this regular maintenance is part of what keeps your body functioning at its best. Here's another fascinating piece of the puzzle. Some scientists believe that masturbation might even help improve the chances of reproduction. You see, it's believed that by ejaculating before intercourse, you might actually speed up the fertilization process, giving lower-ranked males a chance to reproduce before they're displaced. In the animal kingdom, this is just another way nature ensures the survival of the species. And while we don't often think of ourselves as being part of this natural strategy, there's no denying that our bodies are wired for it in similar ways. So, next time you feel that natural urge, remember, it's not just about pleasure or stress relief. It's a biological process, one that has its roots in evolutionary survival. But what if I told you there's more to masturbation than just keeping your system in check? What if it also plays a role in your brain health and overall well-being? Let's explore that next, because the connection between your brain and your body during this act might just surprise you. 4. The ideal frequency. How much is enough? Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. You've heard all the benefits, but the big question is, how often should you masturbate? There's no one-size-fits-all answer, of course. But there are some guidelines backed by science that can help you find the right balance for your body, especially as you age. The Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, one of the most comprehensive studies on prostate health, found a surprising number: 21 or more times per month. That's right, about 5 times a week. This frequency was linked to a 33% reduction in the risk of prostate cancer. Now, don't let that number throw you off. For some, that might seem like a lot. But the truth is, regular ejaculation, whether through sex or masturbation, can help keep your prostate healthy and your body in good working order. But here's the thing. It's not just about prostate health. Masturbation affects more than just your reproductive system. It has a big impact on your brain as well. Every time you masturbate, you trigger a surge of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. This is your body's way of rewarding you with pleasure and relaxation. Over time, this can improve your overall mood and reduce stress. And let's face it, life can get stressful as we get older. From personal challenges to health concerns, it's easy to feel weighed down. Masturbation can be a healthy way to release tension and unwind. However, it's important to recognize that there's a fine line. Masturbating occasionally to relieve stress or just because you enjoy it is perfectly healthy. But if it starts to become a habit driven by emotional escape, it could lead to issues. You might find yourself reaching for this coping mechanism every time you're feeling lonely, anxious, or stressed. And over time, this can turn into a cycle that's hard to break. The key is to find the balance that works for you. So, how often is enough? The best advice I can give is this. Listen to your body. If you're feeling good, emotionally stable, and your prostate is healthy, then you're probably on the right track. But if you're unsure or have concerns about how often you should be doing it, don't hesitate to speak with a healthcare provider. Now that we've covered the frequency of masturbation, you might be wondering about its effects on the brain. How does this act impact your mental health and cognitive function? Let's dive into that next, because the answer could be more important than you think. 5. The risks. When masturbation becomes a problem. Masturbation, like anything in life, is about balance. While it can have clear benefits for your physical and mental health, there comes a point where too much can start to take its toll. It's easy to think that because something feels good, it's always healthy, but that's not always the case, especially as we get older. The reality is, when masturbation turns into a habitual escape, it can begin to cause more harm than good. Let me share something personal. As a urologist, I've spoken to countless men over the years who come to me feeling conflicted. On one hand, they know that masturbation is natural, healthy, and even beneficial for prostate health. But on the other hand, they also feel guilty, ashamed, or even trapped in a cycle of using it as a way to cope with stress, loneliness, or boredom. Over time, this pattern can lead to feelings of guilt and frustration. And in some cases, it can affect your emotional well-being, not just your body. When masturbation becomes a coping mechanism, it can numb you emotionally rather than helping you deal with the root causes of stress or negative feelings. It can become a quick fix for deeper emotional struggles, like anxiety, depression, or even just the boredom of being alone. What's dangerous here is that the more you rely on it as an emotional escape, the more it rewires your brain to seek that quick dopamine release, instead of finding healthier ways to handle those feelings. Over time, this could lead to a kind of addiction, and I don't use that term lightly. The cycle starts innocently enough, a little release to feel better, to ease stress, to escape the pressures of life, but eventually, it may become compulsive. You might find yourself doing it more often than you want to, and in a way that starts to affect other areas of your life, your relationships, your work, your personal happiness. So, how do you know when it's time to take a step back? If you're using masturbation to deal with emotions, and it's no longer about enjoyment or health, it's worth looking at other methods of managing stress or emotional challenges. Remember, it's about understanding your relationship with your body and recognizing when something healthy becomes a crutch. But what if I told you that understanding masturbation's risks can actually help you better understand your brain's response to pleasure and stress? And what if this understanding could open the door to even more effective ways of living a happy, balanced life? Stick with me, because I'm about to share the key to truly mastering your health, not just physically, but mentally as well. 6. The bottom line: embrace your health, not the guilt. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Masturbation is a natural part of life, and when done in moderation, it can be beneficial for both your body and mind. For years, we've been told that it's something to feel guilty about, something to hide away in shame. But the science is clear. There's nothing inherently wrong with masturbation, especially as you age. In fact, it may even help you stay healthier and feel more relaxed. As I've worked with men throughout my career, one thing has always stood out to me: the amount of guilt and shame many feel about masturbation, particularly as they get older. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond who still carry the weight of outdated beliefs. They're stuck in a battle between their body's natural urges and the societal messages they've internalized over the years. And here's the truth: you don't need to carry that burden. Masturbation, when practiced in moderation, can support your prostate health, boost your mood, and even enhance your overall quality of life. It's about finding that balance, recognizing when it's helping and when it might be turning into something you rely on too heavily. If it's something you do occasionally to relieve stress or simply because it feels good, then you're likely on the right track. But if you find it's becoming a crutch, something you do out of habit or to escape, it's time to pause and reassess. And here's the best part: there's no shame in taking control of your health. Understanding the science behind your body's needs can give you the power to make informed decisions. You can embrace your natural urges without the guilt, knowing you're doing what's best for your well-being. So, as we wrap things up, I want you to think about how you can embrace a life where you understand your body's needs, free from guilt or fear. What if this mindset shift could unlock a whole new chapter of health and happiness? Stick with me for the final thoughts on how to live your healthiest, happiest life moving forward. 7. Conclusion: embrace your health, not the guilt. As we come to the end of this discussion, I want to leave you with one important thought. Masturbation is not something to be ashamed of, but rather a natural part of life, especially as you age. It's a practice that, when done in moderation, offers both physical and emotional benefits. From supporting prostate health to providing stress relief, it has a significant role in maintaining your overall well-being. But I also understand the struggles many of you face with the guilt and confusion that can accompany this topic. For many men, especially as they get older, there are deep-seated beliefs and cultural messages that make you feel like masturbation is something to hide or avoid. The truth is, this is just a part of being human. Our bodies evolve, and so do our needs. What's important now is how you choose to embrace those needs and give yourself the freedom to enjoy them without guilt. So, let go of the shame. Understand that your body's natural urges are not a flaw or a weakness. They're a reflection of your body's desire to maintain health, vitality, and even joy. If you've learned anything today, I hope it's that embracing a healthy relationship with masturbation can help you feel more connected to yourself, emotionally, mentally, and physically. As you move forward, remember, balance is key. You don't have to overthink it or be hard on yourself. Listen to your body and do what feels right for you. When you find that balance, you'll experience a life of greater freedom and health, free from the chains of guilt and full of vitality. The next chapter of your life starts with understanding your body and knowing that you have the power to make it as healthy as possible.